Сайн байцгаана уу хүн үзэгчдээ. Өнөөдөр манай Defacto нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Хонконгийн SQW China гэж юм менежмент болон зөвлөгөө гэдэг компани захирал ноён ГАРИ оролцож байна.
ГАРИ SQW Limited China компани захирал. ГАРИ Английн Оксфордын их сургуулийг эдийн засгийн ухааны магистрийн зэрэгтээ төгссөн. Тэрээр бүгд найрамдах Хятад ард улсын Тяньжин, Бээжин зэрэг хотуудын тээвэр логистик, Гуанжу мужийн шилжилт ухааны паркийн мастер төлөвлөгөө боловсруулах, мөн Малайз, Бруней улсуудын хил хоорондын их газрын тээвэрлэлд хөгжүүлэх мастер төлөвлөгөө зэрэг Зүүн Азийн 15 орны үйлдвэрлэл, шинжлэх ухааны технологийн паркийг хөгжүүлэх болон Латин Америкийн чөлөөт худалдаа, ухаалаг хот төлөвлөлтийн төслийн ажилд оролцжээ. ГАРИ нэг бүс нэг ам төслийн хэсэг болох Бруней Гуанжу хоорондын эдийн засгийн коридор хөтөлбөрийн төслийн удирдагчаар мөн Маргарет Тачрын хөгжлийн хөтөлбөрт зөвлөхөөр ажиллаж байжээ.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I understand you have been traveling a lot to Mongolia recently. Why?
Because I think Mongolia, as a country, has a lot of special advantages for investment purposes and for regional strategic positioning purposes. When I come to Mongolia recently, I've been to the Western Mongolia. There's a huge amount of resources, agriculture, aquaculture, natural resources, which is very keenly demanded in the outside world.
You said regional strategic position.
Yeah.
In terms of agriculture products, in particular in the Western Mongolia.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because the agriculture and the product, and including the cattle, animal product that I've seen is of the highest quality and disease-free and organic in nature, which is heavily demand for high-quality food product globally in the world. And also, you're looking at not just the animal, but on the plant side, a lot of medicinal plant, some kind of high-value-added plant. Because of the weather climate in Western Mongolia, very extreme weather, so eventually the quality of the plant quality is better than other parts of the world, and that is organic in nature. So that leads to another issue, which is because it is organic in nature, so that is good for certain specific quality standard, like the Halal food standard.
Well, let's talk about the halal food. You have been working in Brunei,
Yeah.
and you have been, your companies, please tell us first a few words about your company.
Yeah, we are SQW China is Asia Pacific headquarter of the SQW Group, which is a management consultancy and carry out advisory to the government and private company. In the Asia Pacific, we are a lot more active in the foreign direct investment, put together the investment plan together, and put together the investment required for at the country level, national level, and at the private sector level. So we working heavily in the ASEAN region, and then the 10 countries in the ASEAN country, and particularly we're working heavily in Brunei, Jerusalem, which is an oil-rich country. We, since 8 years ago, we helped the country to diversify their single commodity economy, which is oil, into other sector. So we pick up the biotech and the agriculture side of the economy.
What culture?
Agriculture.
Agriculture, okay.
Agriculture and aquaculture.
Okay,
Fish.
aquaculture, okay. Well, that's what something Mongolia needs in terms of diversification, and we have not yet found yet that what is exactly, and there are many talks, including the agriculture. And let's talk to the Western provinces agriculture products like beef. What else?
Okay, beef, sheep, lamb, and these are, I mean, the goat, that is really, really of the highest quality. So when I'm working in the ASEAN region, and also, for example, in Brunei, we are working for Halal food standard for the Muslim population. But actually, as a global trend now, Halal food is not just for the religious reason. It is also for its organic nature, which is regarded as a good quality standard, food standard.
Well, please tell us, because for ordinary people, this is only, as far as we understand, it's the only way of slaughtering differently. So what makes that now being accepted?
You have to slaughter in a different way, following the halal certification process. You have to audit that regularly, and then you also have to, when you feed the animal, you have to feed with the right product for the feed. So that means that we make the product organic in nature, and also to reach a very high standard for human consumption. So that means when your product have halal certified with the right standard, so you regarded that as a high quality food. So now then I use that as a standard when I come to Western Mongolia. My eyes opening, because it is like, to many places, it's like a new area which is not really exploited. You go to the high mountain, you have the lake, and you have the unspoiled good fish there, similar to our trout in the rest of the world. Very good quality standard. The goat that you have is of the highest quality, not just on the meat, but also on the milk and the dairy side of the product. And certainly the cattle is of the very high quality. So the other thing that you will include is the camel and the horse, and also the yak. So these are the series of products that we have seen.
Now you see, because this vast territory, huge territory, which makes infrastructure expensive, connectivity little, there will be the issue of the economies of scale when you go to this vast area where the nomads live. I don't know, 5, 10, 20 kilometers from each other. How do you see that that economies of scale achieved in that situation?
Yeah, totally agree. When you look at the size of Western Mongolia, it's bigger than many European countries in geographical area.
In fact, just all the European countries are just about Western Mongolia. So.
Absolutely. So, so I would say certain area in our marketing research, in our carry out investment program, so we look at that. Certain provinces will specialize in certain products. Some area we're focusing on the plant side, medicinal plant side. Some area we're focusing on cattle. Some area we're focusing on the goat and sheep. So also, I think you have to have some regional processing facilities in each province. So then you have different provinces producing some value-added product. So you are not going to export the meat carcass out from Western Mongolia because that will produce not a very high value-added. So you're looking at process the product to create more economic value to the agriculture product that
process it, like in case of meat, what?
Like packed meat, like processed smoked meat, and like canned food. So some of those with a special recipe, and you may do some soup. So that is what we have in mind. So then the product, and we think that the Western Mongolia, looking at the map, that is in the middle of the Central Asia, the western part. But you think about that, geographically, there's a new road link up to from the Russian border of the Western Mongolia down to Yaran in the southwestern part of the Western Mongolia. Now, that is important because that link up to Xinjiang. And also, if we arrange to carry out a little bit more capital infrastructure investment, the location can link up to places like on the border in Gansu, provinces of China. So the product can benefit from the high-speed rail from China down to southern part of China and export to other parts of the world. Now, that means that open up more choices of logistics for export. So you are not relying purely on the eastern side of Mongolia, which is very far away, to Tianjin and places like that.
And that highway railroad will go not to Beijing, it will go to south.
Yeah.
Bypassing Beijing.
Bypassing Beijing.
And go all the way to Hong Kong direction.
That southern China direction,
Yes, what will be the seaport? Obviously not Tianjin.
There you have choices like in Guangxi, you have the places like a place called Qingzhou, and then you can also using the Qingzhou port to export to ASEAN region, and then that is from Guangxi, that is on the western part of the southern China. So that is a very efficient port facilities there.
So what you are saying is now you're suggesting this completely new route, not to Tianjin, which is rather sophisticated, very expensive.
Correct.
Port. From now, all goods are to Mongolia from all the world, from the east side coming through Tianjin.
Absolutely.
And the Tianjin-Ulaanbaatar piece is almost twice expensive than Tianjin European piece.
Correct.
Paradoxically.
Correct.
So, okay, now logistically I understand you will make a substantial change.
Yeah.
Now in terms of collecting all these things, you said that it's more processed products.
Yeah.
But in halal way, it's certified.
Yeah. I would say we can cater for the halal and now non-halal product. But I think one of the high value added side is the halal product, which we must have a strong focus on. And we already recommended to the Mongolian government, regional government and central government to looking at that. I think we got a very good response to that. Yeah.
And what kind of help you expect from that regional, other than free market works, people, you go and buy and it's like a free country. But what kind of other requirements would be?
I think the government need to really support us to carry out how to collaborate, because you have to rely on the local farmer to be realistic, because I think the geographical size is so big, and you have to we have to put together a system to help the individual farmer to raise their technology standard. How to collect the milk, for example, how to centralize it, how to collect the meat, and how to peel off the skin, not to destroy the skin, because the cashmere skin can be good, and but if you cut many holes inside it, you destroy the leather, for example. And how to collect the milk, don't make it contaminated, how to do it, how to get the cashmere wool. So these are something that we would like to put together a strategy for them. Now, the important thing is, there's there's thousands of farmers, big and small, if not tens of thousands, in Western Mongolia. So we should, working with the government, regional provincial government, on how to put together these farmers to working with us together. How to put that together into a structure which can be workable. So one concept I bring up is a co-op model. Like it is very common in Western world.
Co-op means?
Cooperative organization. So they will co-op together, individual, big farm, small farm, they come together to form an organization.
Yes.
So we can take the lead, SQW can take the lead, and we will providing a centralized halal certification standard procedure for all the farm in the co-op.
How to get those people motivated to be cooperative? What is that basics of that new business model you're
economic reason. Number one, they can be in part of the bigger organization, which have centralized facility which they can use. Their product will be Halal certified together with the this big organization. We will do the audit for all these individual farms at the same time. We have a centralized area for them to get the export-import information. And some of those, the co-op, that means, let's say we have the Western Mongolia co-op, we can get the purchasing order from ASEAN country. We place the order and distribute the order into this individual farm. So they can have the product exported. Now, I have to emphasize, our plan in Western Mongolia is for export, to earn hard currency, to create additional money to the Mongolia as a whole, and Western Mongolia, of course, to make it like becomes a good quality going concern operation.
That will be not easy in the sense that the current is nomadic culture, pasture, land, following better places, grassroots lands, is not creating much high yield productivity of a farmer, a herdsman. And it's a matter probably of giving feed to the animal. How do you see that?
When we put the plan together, we have to think about that already. And thank you for raising that point. That's important. The farmer cannot improve their operation without some kind of capital.
Yes.
So the capital from certain part of the world, the amount of capital is actually minimal, but they can make a big difference, not even marginal difference, it's a big difference to their operation. So when we carry out the plan, we are thinking about when we have the co-op, there should be some capital injection through fundraising or through our arrangement, injection, to create a microfinance scheme within the co-op. And that microfinance scheme, that would include halal and non-halal activities. Because if you talk about Islamic finance, that's another approach. So you cannot have certain kind of economic activities, like making profit and so on. But making interest, I mean. So the other thing is for when they have the microfinance activities, you can help the individual farmer to get the support to improve their system, to enhance, like to get the right fodder crop, the right feed, the right temperature control system. So these are very important. Now, the other thing is how to get a system to help them to even cultivate, get the product in the winter time, which is right now the winter time is a low production period or very small production period. So we have to work out some plan to make it happen all year round. Maybe some shelter area and some centralized facility. These are something that we have to work on.
No, because again, the way Mongolians live, which is far from each other, because again, everybody has to have own better grassland for their animals. Now you talk about more even through the winter to have productivity. Altogether, it will require a big investment.
So that is what we know. But one thing which is good in Mongolia, Western Mongolia, different to other places, land is the big problem. But instead, in Western Mongolia, land is a lesser problem.
In Mongolia, except this crazy city, land is not a problem at all.
So that would reduce part of the cost. And also, if we strategically position in some area, we will create some centralized facilities to make this happen. So investment, we are still making the calculation, but that would be viable.
How much you think it is going to have or require initial investment?
I think we are thinking about around $100 million.
Okay, initial investment.
Yeah, initial investment.
And it will be in which kind of the assets?
So that would be including processing facilities, centralized abattoir facilities, and then to help some certification standard procedure to make them get the product Halal certified, and so on. So that is what we're looking at.
It's a matter of also production of feed, as we talked.
That's right, yeah.
And you should have, and plus this feed is everything, the plants
For
to
the
be
crop.
really also original and you said organic in nature.
Correct.
And those, they are, but now it's a matter of, again, collecting them.
Correct.
And converting them into pieces or melting them into like smaller pieces so that the animals can eat.
Yeah, that's right.
And it will require also certain kind of infrastructure.
Correct.
Water, whatever, the chemical thing.
And exactly. And then you also have to avoid to create waste and rubbish to contaminate the environment. So the investment got to include the waste disposal system and how to regenerate that, how to use it. And so in the future state, I want to mention, I just mentioned the first phase. In the future phases, we're looking at the power supply, like hydropower, which to many people's surprise, someone from Western Mongolia, they know that, but from the Western world, the west of the world, actually, Western Mongolia is full of water. You have many lakes, you have the slow mountain, and that is a good place to do the hydroelectric. So now, when we looking at the second phase, hydroelectric, that one certainly we need the government support because it is a policy support required, and we don't mind to collaborate with the government to carry out investment onto that. And but when you do the hydroelectric power, if you do that, actually that create an aquaculture potential. Number one. Number two, that increase the irrigated farming land. So this would and also you produce the power requirement for the local, regional, or the entire Western Mongolia.
We talk about the complete change of the face of economics there.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned rightly, that's what I have also observed, that is, in particular, when winter ends, spring comes, many water, many snow melts, it goes down to the huge, fast, small river.
Correct.
Kind of, and altogether can get even bigger. And I like this concept of hydropower. Energy is everything. If it is the energy, then the rest you can do. Then altogether we talk about completely, well, first, diversification of economy. Second, we Western region of Mongolia is developed and being connected with the value chain with whole Southeast Asia.
Correct.
It's a completely, certainly very interesting project.
Yes.
And plus also the other thing, why the reason I'm also invited you to our talk is you have a lot of experiences. You have been a part of a lot of free economic zones in China. Please tell us about some, just give the people the scale of what you do and the investment size. Yeah,
for example, like we are working on the Bunai Bio-Innovation Corridor. That is a 500 hectares location. And we have operator like from Mitsubishi from Japan operating there, carry out biotech activities there. So that is a earmark for the over $1 billion investment for the whole site development. And we have been working in our UK operation. We have been manage, operate 25 science and technology park and the business incubation.
UK 25 parks. Science and technology parks you have created.
Okay. And then also in Hong Kong, we actually developed and planned the first science and technology park in Hong Kong. That's back to 20 plus years ago now. And now it come into phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 now. So we're also working on the substantial part in southern China, Guangzhou, in the software park in a place, Tianhe district. That move on from zero. We plan and develop, we help the government to develop that. Now today, the size of the operation is over, I think the annual output from the science and technology part now is over 30 billion US dollar. So that means that is some scale that I'm talking about.
Yes.
So Mongolia, if we develop something like that, you can create a very substantial economic activities in the past. It can be biotech, it can be other technology component. But I think what is important is the government should put that act together, together with the suitable private investor, locally, internationally, to do a clever strategic plan. We want to really make that happen.
Can be kind of consortium as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But the government should have a less than other investors share, because when the government is dominant, it is not always.
They only give the policy direction.
Okay.
But now, one concern I have is the government may not have, they may have the certain experience, but on this, they should rely or learn from some successful international example before they introduce a policy. Like if they want to do a free trade zone, they have looking at international market, how they do that. But while they do that, don't just copy. You have to tailor-make.
Yes.
Because Mongolia is a different geographical
Unique,
and natural environment. You don't have a seaport,
Yes.
but you have airport.
Yes.
You have land bridge. You are linked up to the Central Asia, into China, into Russia. Strategically, you are in a wonderful position with natural resources.
Well, exactly. That's what, thank you for reminding us that situation. And your company is also very active in UK for many years.
Yeah.
And you were a part of a privatization program of Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
Which year and what was your role there?
Yeah, when we start to carry out the thing, we're working in the late 80s. We carry out a lot of activities like the Channel 3 TV franchise for the Thatcher government. So at that time, they tried to introduce competition to the system. Originally, it's an ITV system. So we have more than 10 companies to carry out the new franchise bid, designing the policy, the guide, how to put this regulation together. So we're also working on the telecommunication deregulation policy. So these are something that we keep working on. So that is one of our main business activities. And also, I think using the similar experience, which are helping China, certain provinces to carry out some privatization program on certain state-owned enterprises. So we are working heavily on that. I hope that experience can be introduced to Mongolia, because I think there's a great opportunity.
Is it private company, right?
Yeah.
Private investment and consultant company.
Yeah.
How many people are there?
We have our group of around 300 professionals.
300 professionals?
Yeah.
They are employed, or it is the owners?
Employed.
How many owners?
We have around 15 shareholders. Yeah.
15 shareholders. And you are one of them?
Yeah.
And then you 300 professionals work all around the world, creating this sort of projects like you are planning in Mongolia.
Yeah.
You know, I wish this really implement in Mongolia, as it will be good start of diversification of the economy from the mining sector. So we need to use that revenue for that sector.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Hall, I wish your project is implemented in Mongolia, and share with us, with Mongolians, what kind of concerns, what kind of hurdles you may have. So we will be happy to promote or to convince people to work with you, to help you to succeed.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
За хүн төлөвчтэй өнөөдөр манай Defacto нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор энэ Монголын, баруун Монголын нутагт эдийн засгийг төрөлжүүлэхэд онцгой сонин санал тавьж байгаа томоохон хөрөнгө оруулагчдыг төлөөлж энэ SQW гэж компани захирал ноён ГАРИ оролцлоо. Баярлалаа.